Hello, my fellow human beings. It's been a while since I've shown a sign of existence on here. I was going through a crisis. I did record a few videos, but they just felt more like a product of like me feeling responsible to show my face on YouTube, and it was not really coming from, in there. And I want to talk about crises, because that's what's been keeping me awake at night, keeping me busy, whatever. It's really something you can't avoid. There's no way to go through a crisis. There's no way to avoid it. You have to go it. I myself believe that we are born with a gift, like a destiny, and whatever we experience in life, it brings us closer to what we're supposed to do. It brings us closer to the role we're gonna fulfill. That makes this world a better place. It all is connected, and well, in my opinion, you can believe it or not. That's completely on you. But we all have this destiny, and sooner or later in life we'll be at this point where we are fulfilled, or are fulfilling that prophecy. It's not a prophecy, because it may be like a personality trait to how you have, for example, I don't know, somebody who had to go through a period of serious sickness in order to find themselves being a destined healthcare nurse or whatever. Like, what we go through brings us closer to this life we're supposed to live, this purpose we're supposed to fulfill. And when we arrived at the purpose, or we already play with little fragments of that purpose, we feel fulfilled, we feel good. And sometimes we can only reach the point of clarity and the point of being sure, this is what I want to do, through crisis. And we're being born and reborn in a metaphorical way so often in our life. Beliefs we have are gonna be crushed by experiences we make, and we're gonna build new beliefs, we're gonna build new states of awareness, like a new state of awareness every time we fall down. And every failure and lesson we go through in life brings us closer to feeling fulfilled and aligned with that big energy that is whispering in our ear what we're supposed to do, and is leading us through troubled waters and storms so we can acquire the skills to fulfill our destiny. And you have to go through crisis, you have to suffer. But what helps me is this belief that it's temporary. This too will pass. Every dark period will pass eventually. And what helps me is the belief of that this holy power, whatever you believe in, put you on earth with a purpose. There's beautiful, good times ahead. But you can only reach them if you go through that storm, through that very hard time, very draining time, the time where you feel empty and so hopeless. And that's also one thing I want you to remember. If you think you've lost hope, you didn't, because you're still alive. And I think human beings can never, at no point in life, lose hope, even if they think they did lose hope. There have been shockingly many suicides in my area the last month, especially young people, of which I knew some. Personally, and it's like, if you're still here and alive, you haven't lost hope in life. And if you do decide to take this step and move on from this worldly earth, which I wish nobody to do, then you still have hope that there's something better on the other side, something that offers you relief. So I think it's impossible to lose hope, even if you think you did. Yeah, back to the crisis. If you go through a crisis and you recognize, I'm in this very dark place, I'm struggling, I lose balance, there are a few things you can do to keep yourself afloat. As I already mentioned, not losing hope, or being aware of that you cannot lose hope, possibly. How hard you try and how hard you think you did lose hope. Second thing, you're here for a purpose, and this beautiful life that is awaiting you is at the end of the tunnel, of this dark crisis tunnel. And then the third one is that all the struggles we go through have been here before. You know, if you don't ask yourself, who am I? Ask yourself, what am I? You're part of the human species, and like at the core, every problem has been here before. It's like red piece of yarn through history. Search for answers in books, in the people around you, in history, and talk to someone, you know? I had this chat with somebody I went to school with, and we were talking about how shitty middle school was for us at the time. I didn't know she struggled as well, and now I know that she did. And we were living our lives so close, but because we didn't talk, we didn't know that the other one had the same problems, and therefore we missed out on an opportunity of like helping each other, or like being compassionate for each other at the moment of need. So it does help to be open, to talk about it. And one thing that helps me as well is doing art. Like, it helps me to live through my emotion and whatever's going on safely, because you kind of put your thoughts and fears out there through writing, through painting, through singing, through whatever, without actually like having to come to terms with. You don't have to speak it out like blunt and raw, but you can like deliver it in a safe and beautiful way through that, I think. Yeah, the sun is gonna come back. You have to go through a crisis. Be brave enough to ask for help, okay? And be brave enough to say, I did not lose hope. Because the sun is gonna come again. You're gonna be fine in the future. You're gonna be fine every now and then. And it's important to see those moments. For example, now I feel good, the sun is out. And it's important to recognize that moment of like feeling relieved, in a sense, or that moment of not feeling empty. And you have to collect those moments like they're very, very rare pebbles. Yeah, and then there's gonna be times where you'll find a lot of special pebbles on this beach named life, and the tide is gonna calm down, and the storm will eventually be over. So my fellow human beings, do not lose hope. Collect those beautiful pebbles. Yeah, you're loved, you're beautiful, and you do belong.